Hey, it's Mike Giannoulis from copywriterbrain.com, and in this video I'm going to show you how I'm going to take some of my existing research notes that I did in Google Drive and Google Docs, and I'm going to be taking that over into Roam, and I'll show you sort of how I go about that. And this is not going to be like a public facing video. I may put it out, but it's not going to be very, unless you're really into this, you probably don't. This is probably not the video for you, but I'm going to take some notes, and you'll see that I'm in my Google Drive, and I've got like 26 pages of notes. Now, the good thing is, and this is the first time I'm actually beginning to transfer notes in to Roam. So we'll see how things go. I have done some from my Evernote, but not from Google Drive. There's always a chance for there being some copy paste issues. So this is my notes from a piece that I wrote for a beef liver capsule. Okay, so I just went ahead and copied all that, Control A, Control C. I'm a PC guy. I'm jumping over here to my account. I'm gonna switch over to my copywriter version. This is one that you're all going to have access to if you purchase my Copywriter Brain course, or if you're already a member. You can see I've been getting it built up. There's some cool stuff being added, and I'm continuing to add it. I'm actually going to be adding someone in now who's going to start filling up more and more of the material as we go. So there's all these cool little things for you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and create sort of a page, beef liver capsule research. Okay, so I'm creating that page. If a page, this box here allows you to search. If it doesn't exist, it will create, which is kind of cool. So click on that. You'll see, boom, I have the page. So we're going to hope for the best here. I'm just going to hit Control V and stand back and see what happens. All right, cool. So you'll see that it pretty much posted and everything. Even images came over, which was my big concern. I really love how they've done this. So you can see that everything has come over. So there's all this amazing research, all this data. Now, what the main job is when you're adding this info into Roam Research is you want to make it discoverable, right? You do this research one time per product or whatever, and the odds are, from what I've seen, you end up never coming back to it. Like when I went into my Google Drive to reopen this folder, I had seen that I hadn't opened it since like June or something like that. And here it is like October 1st, and I haven't even touched it since. That's not good, right? Because there's so much great info that may apply to other products, other programs, other things that I'm involved in. If you hear snoring right now, that's my dog. She's asleep over there on the couch, so sorry about that. All right, so what we're going to do though real quick is the big key is you want to make this stuff discoverable in the future. When you're in your Roam database and you're writing something, you want to be able to look for linked references, which is basically if you scroll down here at the very bottom again, now there won't be any because it's empty. But there's two different types of links that you can find. There's unlinked and there's linked resources. So I'll give you a quick example. The page that we're on right now is called Beef Liver Capsule Research. Is that right? Okay, so if I go back to the start here, I can add some more material. So I could say, update, check out this research sample, and we'll say check out this research sample on, and I hit the little double brackets, which will become your new best friend. If I start typing in beef liver, it's found it for me. So boom, there it is. That page now exists. You can click on that and jump over. And now if we scroll to the bottom, what you'll see is that now there's a linked reference to that page where I first mentioned, where I mentioned beef liver capsule research. So what we want to do, we want to go through this document. Don't worry, I won't do it all with you here live. This is probably hours of time. But what we'll do is we'll do this first little section, and you'll kind of be able to see how to do it. Now, these notes were taken, as the term, extemporaneously, just kind of fast, and they were not always in order per se. So here we go. Check out this for another angle P450. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn P450 into a page. So I just highlight it, hit the bracket twice, boom, boom. It does it for me. Boom, now that's a page. There's a link right here. What I'm going to do with that link is I'm going to sub-tab that link. So I hit enter. I'm going to bring this link underneath that so it sort of stays connected. The other option that I have as well is I can turn this link into what's called an alias, which is just a way to make it look a little prettier on the page, sort of like when you see a hyperlink. Like this is a link, right? But it doesn't list the full code link. It just says P450. So here, to do that, I can highlight the link. Well, actually, first I'll go here and I'll just say, I could just say read this, and then I can highlight that and put it into one bracket. That's if you want to make a page, it's 2 brackets. If you want to make an alias, which is just a hyperlink, you do 1 bracket. You'll see that it auto-filled the one. Make sure there's no space. Hit parentheses, and you'll see that it created it for me. So I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to paste it in there. Okay, and when I click off, you'll see now that it's a link that says read this. If you wanted to see how it looks on the page, if you hold down Shift, you can click on anything and it opens it in the sidebar. If I click on the 1, you'll see there it is. There's the reference, read this. So now that's added under the P450 category. So now anytime I reference P450, it will become available on this P450 page. So if I'm doing some other piece and I stumble upon P450, anytime I've ever talked about P450, it'll appear here on the site. Okay, so next there's a link for NSP Nutrition. I know that I already have a page. Well, I did in my other row, but not here. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new section for this. And again, this is all how deep you want to go. How well are you like a type A, control everything type, or you just more go with the flow? I'm more go with the flow, so I probably personally won't spend as much time on this as perhaps you might want to. I just like to have a few pages where I can find stuff. When I'm talking about vitamin A, I want a vitamin A page. I want a vitamin B12 page. I want a folate page. Like I want pages on those things, right? That's sort of what I want. There's my phone going off. I have a call coming up soon, so I'm going to wrap. But what we'll do here, we'll go ahead and just kind of turn this into a thing. So we can put beef liver product page, hit enter, tab it over, and we'll create this, and you'll kind of see how it works. We'll cut that. So we'll put NSP, put the bracket, NSP beef liver product page, push it over, parentheses, paste. All right, again, that was an alias that we just created. One thing you can also do, if you want to be able to find this easily, you could turn this into a page. Boom, boom. So now we have a page. You could also add a hashtag. So hashtag beef. And you can do it like that. So it becomes that gives it a different look. So this is actually the same thing. So if I click this, you'll see that it brought me over here. If I click this, same thing. It's actually the exact same page. It just gives it a little better look. And I know this is also, the company is called NSP. So I could hashtag that. Now, the cool thing is, instantly, a page was created for NSP. So anything that has to do with NSP will end up eventually being linked on this page. So you can see here, if I go to NSP, I can read about beef liver on the product page. If I go to the beef liver page, I'll be able to reference, as the pin, sorry, hit the 1. You'll see now I can see NSP, so it's all linking together. That's the power of these like bi-directional links. They work both ways. So each pill is 500 milligrams. For the anti-fatigue effect, it is recommended to take 10 daily capsules, which is 5,000. So here I may want to tag this with like dose, dose, size, and these are all just terms that are being added so I can find this in the future. And then there's a study here, so we can do that as well. So we could actually do turn this into a, instead of saying link, I may want to say like hashtag study. And again, there's no perfect way to do this. I wish there was. But the thing is, and I've said this the other day, you're not learning how to use Roam as much as you're learning how to use your own mind and how to control and think about things the way that make them the most sense for you. So here's a study, and we probably will go ahead and click on this to see what it is. So this opened it up in a new window. An acceptability trial of desiccated beef liver and meat powder as potential fortifiers of complementary diets of young children. Okay, so I may just want to grab that and make that the headline or the name of this. So I'll click over here again, and by now this should be old hat to you. We're going to build a page out. We're going to make it that name, and then we click over, and we want to make sure we finish by putting in the parentheses. So click it back, parentheses, and because it's kind of smart, it did it for me. You can also just put it at the end and then delete that one. Boom. So now I can see what it is without having to click on it. I can see the headline of that study. An acceptability trial of desiccated beef liver and meat powder as potential fortifiers, right? All right, so there's a story here. Beef liver is used as a nutritional supplement to overcome nutrient deficiencies, known as the fortifier. So that's kind of cool. That, to me, it would be a subline. The reason why we do these little sub tabs is because whatever you put in under here allows it to be found. So we could tag story, bracket. Now there's a page. So anytime we want to look for stories, we can find it. We could turn this into a page, which we had already done. And the cool thing is, over time, you're building up more and more value, right? And again, I'm probably spending more time on this than I would, but I'm kind of wanting to show you. We could also hashtag nutritional, hashtag supplement. And again, every time you do this, you're creating a page. How cool is that? You're creating all these different pages that you can go back to. And then the result of this study is that kids enjoyed it. So we'll bring that over again. These sub bullets, they call them blocks inside the Roam world, but this is now all under this. So again, now let's go back to our beef page up here, and you'll see that it's been added on here. So we see it's known as the fortifier. We see their results. If you also, one more quick thing, if you want to bold or highlight, you can just highlight it, or and then you hit Control B, or I think it's Apple or Command on the B, and that makes it bold. If you want to highlight it, you can do the same thing. But you do like a Control, I think it's Control H, highlight, and now you can see that's there. The other option that you can always do is you can also do, you can see if you wanted to do it by hand, you could put star at the front, star at the end. That's bold, and then kind of this up caret. It's a little bit like coding. That's just an option if you want to do it. Here's a study. Let's see what this study is. Doing it to the end, I'm not sure why. This particular study is nutritional quality and physicochemical characteristics of defatted bovine liver treated by supercritical carbon dioxide and organic solvent. Okay, great study. Again, we're just going to grab that, make that the name of this particular study, and because it's all part of the same thing, we'll drag it all over. So this is all kind of part of that study. bracket, paste, and parentheses, delete, close it, done. Now that I'm starting to see that honestly all of this is kind of under the same section, right? So I want to go ahead and bring this over too. That's one other point, is that as you go, you can always modify. You can always change things. You can make it better. Let's say I wanted to make this bigger. I wanted this to stand out. So one kind of cool thing that you can do, sorry, I clicked on the word study. I can go ahead and make a headline area. So I could go here and watch this. I'm going to hit pound, pound, pound. This is going to give me like an H3 tag. And now when I hit space, it makes it bigger. So I could say like important beef liver study. And what am I going to do, of course, but make a page out of this. Boom, boom. And make this into a hashtag. Now, one important thing, though, is you can see all these matter. So study is different with a small s than a capital S. So we'll do small. All right, now I go ahead and bring all this under. So all I'm doing here is I just hit tab, right? I'm bringing that over. Same with the quote. And I'm going to stop here because I think you're getting the point. Bringing the quote over. And then there's some more on the anti-effects. Boom, boom. And an incredible success story. So again, it's all about how much time you want to spend on it, right? But this should give you a good idea how to start. And also, I would probably hashtag this one with big idea, because I think there's a big idea here under the idea of this P450, which I need to do a lot more research on. So we'll hashtag that big idea, P450. What's cool about that is if I'm ever like struggling or unsure of anything, I can pull up the big idea page and see I have big ideas and big ideas. So you have to watch out for that. But I'll bring it up, and now I have this idea right here. Look at that. There's a P450. What was that again? Oh yeah, let me read this. Right? So this is what you do when you're kind of struggling to come up with the next thing. All right. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll probably spend a lot more time on this, bringing that over. I might not. I might just keep it as is, just to kind of show it as a sample, because this is not something that I'm going to really use much of. But if you want to get in there and play with it, you can do it yourself as well, just to get some experience. I hope you enjoyed that video. For more stuff like this, check out copywriterbrain.com.